Good morning. This morning I have decided to show you how interesting the noodles can be, and we're going to do a noodles transformed into a fried rice. So what we do with the noodles, I'm just going to chop them, and it will look really much like, those little seeds of rice, which is something I like to play with. I love fried rice. It's one of my favorite meals. When I think of breakfast, very often fried rice would come to mind. So let's get started. What I want to do today is to pat the noodle dry. I just rinse them, and I want them to be a little bit drier. If you don't have a cloth, a normal, simple kitchen paper will do, just to pat them dry completely. And all we have to do is just to chop them like if it was little rice seeds. It will not be exactly like rice. I cannot have this consistency of little, all the little grains are exactly the same. But in terms of mouthfeel later, I really like that texture because the noodles remains bouncy, a bit like perfectly cooked rice. So for fried rice, actually, those noodles are working fairly well. I say I'm going to have some which are slightly longer, can recut them if we want, but at the end of the day, once everything will be mixed, you won't see much of a difference with my noodles. So my main ingredients is pretty much ready. What I want to do, I'm going to do some form of traditional fried rice. When I say traditional, a wild guy making fried rice. So I like my Japanese kind of fried rice. We use simple stuff. We use eggs. And what I like to do is my fried rice is to beat the eggs a little bit first. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to fry the eggs first, and then I'm going to fry everything else. I like to put a little bit of bacon. That flavor of bacon is very unique. Now, if you're vegetarian, which is my case, I can replace bacon with something like shiitake mushroom, for instance, have a lot of umami flavor. But if bacon is not an issue for you, that really, really tastes nice. Now the beauty of fried rice is very versatile. You can play with whatever you have. I've got some carrots, which I'm going to play with. Earlier on I said bacon. If you don't take bacon, you want to have another kind of protein. Prawns can go very well here. Pretty much anything you fancy. Next, personal favorite, a little bit of corn. And very often I will cook fried rice for the children. Therefore they love corn. It's something which I think goes fairly well. I like to use it more as a garnish. I won't use it straight away into the pan. The corn is already cooked, but as a garnish, it goes fairly well into my rice. And to put into the fried rice, the last thing I'm going to use is spring onions. The green for garnish later, and I'm just going to use a white part. Now we're pretty much ready to go. I'm going to go on the stove and fry it, but before I do that, I'm just going to prepare a little bit of garnish. So here I've got cucumber, which I like to put into my fried rice, as well as lettuce, and I'm just going to chop a little bit of romaine lettuce to put in together. Cucumber is next. Cucumber is next for my little garnish. So I use Japanese cucumber, I like them. This is called curry. It's something which I like because it gives me a little bit of crunch, and I'm a big fan of crunch when it comes to most of my food. I wouldn't use the seed inside, so I just remove them. And I'm going to make little cubes of it. Remember I mentioned I would keep my green part of the spring onions for the garnish. And finally, since I've got a little bit extra corn, I'm going just to use a little bit of corn to garnish a little bit more. So this one won't be cooked, this one will be just put as a garnish on top later. I think we're pretty much set. We can go on the stove. I've got soy sauce, I've got oil, I've got white pepper. It's pretty much all my seasoning ready. Let's go and cook. So, first thing we're gonna do is fried rice. It's obviously fried, and oil is welcome here. So unfortunately have to use a fair amount of oil. That's the principle of what we're going to be doing. But at the end of the day, we can take it out because what I'm doing first is to fry the egg, and the oil of the egg will come out. I'm just waiting for the wok to be nice and hot, which is coming soon. I can see my oil is hot because even if it doesn't smoke yet, I can see the rim of the oil around my wok. All I'll do is just fry the egg first. I just want to get my egg out first. It's light, it's fluffy, and the reason why I'm doing the egg first is because I want that lightness, I want that fluffiness to start with. I don't want, a sticky egg at the end. I want those fried rice to be a little bit more on the light side. So my first thing going in is bacon. Now it's a shame you can't smell it because frying bacon, for a vegetarian, I can tell you, it's one of the hardest things for me to resist to. I can resist a lot of things, but fried bacon, its aroma is still magic. It's distinguish every place. For me, fried bacon. Take your time, okay? Make sure it's nice and crispy. That's where all the flavor, all the aroma is to come. So I don't dump everything in and just fry it quickly. I just want to make sure that this bacon is really nice and crispy. We've extracted all the flavors we can extract from the bacon. All right, next in line, the carrots. Carrots simply because they cook a little bit longer, so I want them to be still maintain a little bit of crunch. I don't want them mashy. I don't want a carrot puree. But on the other hand, I also need to have a little bit of a cooked carrot. You don't want to have a raw carrot into your fried rice. Now, because the carrots are very small, it's going to cook very fast. I mean, maybe about a minute here maximum, and it's pretty much ready. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for this kind of result. Carrot, bacon. I'm going to add the corn in next. And again, it's very versatile. You decide whatever you like to put inside it. I put both ingredients, but if you feel like, I don't know, leek, bok choy, nuts, okay, lastly, the spring onions. And again, feel free, if you don't like spring onion, you want something else, you can, that's where, aromatics can come in, like ginger, coriander, shallots. All right, la pièce de résistance, my rice. Now, of course, it is not rice, so it won't taste like rice. But to me, maybe, when you're lacking of rice and you can't eat it for any reasons, that's the very best thing to go with. Here we are. Oops. See how it's all coming out nicely together? Okay. Time to put back the egg inside. You see, light and fluffy, that's what I want. And next is the seasoning. So I will season with a tiny bit of soy sauce, that's my salt. And white pepper. the soy sauce will give me a little bit of, I would call it caramelization. So you see, after I put the soy sauce, my egg, which was nice and white, is now caramelizing a little bit. That's where I want to go. And we are pretty much ready. Yep. So traditionally, put into a bowl. I'm not going to change this. All right. And what I'm going to do with it is my plate, flip the bowl, pull it out, and I put my bowl of fried rice. Let's go and garnish it a little bit. So the final thing, obviously, is to try to make it pretty, and that is a challenge. So very frankly, I think it's something which I want to keep, a little bit rustic. I'm just going to put a little bit of cucumber on it. Mentioned it before, it's something which I like for the crunch. I like the lettuce. The lettuce gives me a lot of freshness into my rice, and it's something which I really like. Again, I scatter it around. The green part of my spring onion from earlier. And for my kids, I know they love corn, so that's what I'm going to tell them. It's a corn fried rice. That's pretty much it. There's nothing. Of course, I'm hiding it, but it's about to be eaten, and this is the best part. So if you guys are on a form of diet, you can't take too much starch, you're craving for rice, you can't have rice, W0W noodles, chop it like rice, it's the best next things. Bon appetit and hope to see you soon.